You're listening to Poetry Is on 88.5 WMNF Tampa, WMNF.org, and you are rocking with your boy D-Rod. We have a full show and we have a full studio, and we have one reluctant person who is definitely trying not to get on the microphone. I will definitely be working to try to get this person on air, because I believe in the amazingness of what this person is going to bring. I believe it's going to be true, unbridled, unstopped, untapped energy. And I believe they're going to look at me and be like, you're absolutely crazy. It's not happening. But, you know, I love education. I love testing the youth. I quite often lose. But but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this track. I just love the live instrumentation, just to kind of set a smooth groove for what we're about to do tonight and the energy that we're about to provide and what we're about to talk about. This is Poetry Is right here on 88.5 WMNF Tampa, WMNF.org. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Week. You may have had a stressful weekend. You may have stress coming back this week. But for right now, for the next 50 minutes or so, we are going to take away the strife, the pressure. We're going to flow, just like good music. Let's go, y'all.
Kisses are not mine, they're not mine. He takes, but surely she can't give what I'm feeling now. She takes, but surely she doesn't know how. Is it a crime? Is it a crime that I still want you, and I want you to want me too? My love is wider than Victoria Lake. My love is taller.
One thing I love about these older tunes is the live instrumentation. We get a lot of synthesized music nowadays where instruments are being imitated. But there's something about the resonation and the sound and vibrations that come from a live band rocking. And we're going to groove with this, man. This is a classic.
Is it a crime? Is it a crime? I still want you, and I want you to want me too.
it go. Whatever it is that's been holding you back, stressing you down, let it go.
My love is wider than the toilet. Torn and busted. Time is I can't give you more than that. Surely you want me back. Is it a crime? Is it a crime that I still want you, and I want you to want me It dies just and it ripples like deepest ocean. Can't give you more than that. Surely you want it back.
No offense.
Tell me, is it a crime?
And that was a light opening now. A little bit of the amazing song, band, artist, Sade. I forgot the whole full name. I shouldn't edit. I should get it and pass it down. But officially Sade, y'all. That was Is It a Crime? And again, just beautiful music work and
Timeless classic.
timeless. I'm going to be playing that when I'm 89, when I ain't got no knees left. Still gonna be playing it. All right, y'all. So we're here for another episode of Poetry Is. And one thing that we love to do is we love to focus on, of course, some of our local events and local things going on that also promote spoken word and spoken word soul, which we, of course, love here on this station. So there are people in our community and they're doing things. And they're doing some amazing things with other amazing people. And these amazing events are actually available for you to be able to attend. Like it's there. It's actually possible. It can happen. And so with that being said, I would like to welcome for your first time ever to 88.5 WMNF Tampa. And this is what we do to everybody. To welcome yourself, go ahead and do a poem. No, I'm kidding.
I was ready. I was like, all right.
Oh, you got one? All right, well, do it. That's a new thing I like. And now I want you to represent yourself with your piece, first and foremost. Let's go. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hush up. I'm gonna be quiet. We have a special guest, y'all. We have a special guest who's gonna do a poem, y'all. This is the first time right here live for you, for me, for us. This is real poetry.
This one is Seashell. As I'm laying on the ground, I think, I am a seashell of my former self. On the road to ecstasy, I have taken a taciturn that has now committed me to silence and apathy. And I reserve my speech to anyone who has tried to pick me up and lend me their ear, because now they can hear the sounds from the ocean in which I drown. And the moment I go back down, as all things do, I remember who I used to be, and then ask myself, who is this current you? And as the listeners wave goodbye, I wish these waves would die, because They do not wave and try to greet me. They see me as another object and do not care that I have been abused by the sea world. And every day I see hell trying to get my eyes to see myself as a human again. But then I too objectify and deny this human being. And eventually discovered that feeling of not getting back what you lost. It's like being lost in the sea and tossed around by waves until you and the ocean are agreeing you are no longer human. You were just a seashell. And that's seashell.
All right, y'all. We got this new thing. I love doing this. I love bringing it out. Yes, yes, yes. The applause. We love the applause.
Thank you.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Cut it. Gosh, you know, when you got a crowd, they be with you. What I wanted to say is, one, beautiful piece, seashells.
Thank you.
So now that you have piqued the people's interest and opened their mind, and now there's a space for you to be able to plant ideas and seeds, please introduce yourself to the people, man.
So my name is Jema. I am a local spoken word and hip hop artist, and I'm also the program director of Esse, Quam, Videri, A Journey of Brotherhood. What Esse, Quam, Videri is a men and boys mental health and fellowship program that will establish a community so that nobody feels that they're alone when going through life's journey.
Big facts. All right, so we're going to go into more details about everything as far as the ways and whys and hows behind it. But you guys have an event that's going to be coming up here very soon.
Yes.
What is that?
So July 10th, we're actually having the program launch. It's going to be at the Center for Health Equity from 5 to 8 p.m. All of the Tampa Bay area is welcome to come out there. It is based in St. Pete, but we're partnering with a lot of dope people just all around the area. So that's just going to basically give the breakdown of what the program is about. You're going to be able to witness some spoken word and some hip hop. And we're also going to be having a panel discussion, which is going to be featuring Wally B. Jennings. Shout out to Wally real quick.
Shout out to Wally B.
And the topic is going to be defining and navigating masculinity. So I encourage everybody to come out and enjoy the event.
That sounds absolutely awesome and amazing. And listen, folks, again, that's going to be July the 10th. I believe that's next week, Wednesday, correct?
Yes, next week, Wednesday.
And what's the address for that event?
Ooh,
do you know?
Let me get off the top of my head.
What's the name of the spot?
It is the Center for Health Equity.
Center for Health Equity. We're going to have the address for you guys later on during the show. But definitely start looking into that. Go ahead and get your tickets. Don't meet us there. Beat us there, man. I want you guys, you're sitting there with your feet up, a nice soft beverage in your hand, drinking some water and, hydrating and ready to get this good information and good knowledge. And you have, of course, you may have like a bunch of various artists that's going to be performing for the event, correct?
Yes. So it's going to be 4 artists opening up. It's going to be a mixture of hip hop and spoken word because the program is heavily based off of those two things as I grew up doing that. And those are the art forms that are dear to me. So I wanted to make sure we have the creative expression because that's very important with mental health so that you have that outlet through the arts. So that will be incorporated.
Okay. Well, I'm liking that. I am feeling that. I am a fan. And what I'm going to do is we're going to get into this quick poem. We're going to come back. We're going to play one quick ad, and then we're going to get back into not just the artists who are going to be on this amazing lineup for this amazing event, July the 10th, that you guys need to be there next week, Wednesday, in case you are getting around. So make sure you have yourself planned out by Monday. But we're going to do that, and we're going to get back and get into more, and we're going to find out a little bit more about you as an artist and some of the people that you brought with, because he rolls deep, man. Y'all be thinking about these rappers be deep, man. Rappers/poets, they roll with family, they roll with friends. Listen, man, they roll. There's a whole entourage here with us in Studio One here at 88.5, and we're blessed to have you, man. So thank you again for your event and sharing that with us. We're going to get into this piece here. We're going to do this piece called Counting Graves by Staminats. And sit back, relax. You're listening to Poetry Is.
How y'all doing? We're the Staminat Slam team, and we are Counting Graves.
10,
9,
8,
7-year-old boy put 6 feet deep in a 5-foot coffin coffin, wondering what for. While three grown men have to drive by, and he does a couple of bullets, but
One. Room as bright as the box. Little brother sleeps in. Big brother feeding like a magician. Cuddled up in the corner with Mary Jane. Cause like mom and little brother, he already made Jax Daniels disappearing as tears trickle down face. Veins and eyes bloodshot red. Heart pounds like beating drums in Africa. Being a provider was his only mistake.
Just counting graves to go to sleep because counting sheep stopped working since he decided to not breathe. Keep telling myself it's not my fault, but as my conscience decided to talk, I really don't know anymore. You see, my pain burst through my soul like an open sore, and I can't escape my thoughts because there's no more open doors.
This pitch black chamber, as dark as a vexed soul. Only vivid images pop in and out of existence like quantum physics. Big brother, where are you? I can't see. I can't. I'm hot. My bed is now a 5-foot box and I'm not comfortable in it. Mama said you shouldn't leave me alone for more than 5 minutes.
But I only left you alone for about 6 minutes. Maybe if I came right back, you'll be still living.
Boy, all you had to do was look after my second progeny. Honestly, how hard is it to be my eyes for me?
Put down to me. It's not my fault. They thought it was me.
You see that Machiavelli fit you didn't want me to wear? I took it, along with your Chicago Bulls jacket. You had it that night when you were selling sugar patches.
Hustling a sugar-like substance in the form of powder and rocks on a block run by 3 hustlers who didn't like him. Decided that the only way to get their commission was to put him out of his. So they drove by and saw one guy sitting on the steps wearing Big Brother's clothes, gun out, pull the trigger 6 times in the side time. Turn like mama in the grave.
So you telling me in my dreams I can hardly conceive? Nightmares haunt me when I'm the deceased? A mother's worst fear, and you made it come true. I said watch out the little brother, not be a damn fool. My baby was only in the 2nd grade, gunned down because you wanted to be a street slave. You should have been there to keep little brother safe.
Haunted by the voices of the deceased, he can't speak.
Big brother, can I wear your shirt? I want to take your camera,
Baby, I'm off the way. Keep an eye on your little brother, you understand?
Why'd you leave that shit off for me to wear it, huh?
That should be you in front of that gun. 10.
Picks up the gun,
9.
contemplates the number of weeks since little brother was buried. After all, he was only
7-year-old boy put 6 feet deep in a 5-foot coffin, wondering what for. While 3 grown men have to drive by, and he dodged a couple of bullets, but 1.
I'm sick and tired of these 3 things haunting me.
Mama's voice,
his grave.
My gun.
Click, click, boom.
WMNF turned 45 this year and rock out with the Dolly Rocks. Saturday, September 14th at the Floridian Social Club. Buy your ticket now at WMNF.org. Because you're awesome.
And we are back. We are live. We are in the space. And we've got some guests, man. We've got some guests. And we've got some guests who brought guests with them as guests. Guest. Videographer, camera person extraordinaire. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Medina Karagic. I am the owner of Alain Vital Visuals. So I provide photography and videography services to anyone and everyone who comes to me. So I specialize in working with a lot of artists and small brands and poets in the area. So that's just a little piece about me.
Did you go to HEC?
I did not. I went to USF.
You went to USF?
Yeah.
You're familiar. It's going to find it. I don't know if it was a poetry spot or something, but you are familiar, definitely. But, okay, so we have this tremendous event that you're doing coming up next Wednesday, July the 10th. And I'm not speaking about Medina, I'm speaking about our first guest, y'all, in case y'all getting lost. But what I wanted to ask you as we get into this, like you said, you have a mixture of hip-hop artists and spoken word artists. And this was something that was very important to you as far as putting it together and bringing this in part to your event.
Yes.
And I know you're doing this for the youth, for young men and for our community. So what was it that made you feel that this was a thing that you wanted to add because you felt that it would have like a tying link between the people you're trying to reach and the people that's on the stage?
In regards to the art, right? Like,
correct.
So I know what art did for me. Like growing up, I played sports and I wanted to be a basketball player like a lot of people. Now, those dreams didn't work out how I wanted it to, but I'm actually glad because it was around 10th grade where I kind of got introduced to writing, specifically hip hop. And I found freedom in the expression in the art form. I was like hearing songs with people articulating themselves and talking about emotions that I felt. It was something that I couldn't replicate by dribbling a ball. So I started practicing and writing it myself. And then eventually, right out of high school, I became a part of Heard 'Em Say. And I found my introduction to spoken word, and it allowed me to expand on that ability to write and break down concepts in ways that were a little bit different than hip hop because it didn't have the instrumentation. You had to rely strictly on the words, but there was a power in doing that also. So I love both art forms, and I just think it's important, like I said, for expression and learning more about yourself because that's what writing did for me.
That's awesome. What year was it that you started with Heard 'Em Say?
I was like 18 turning on to 19. I think at the time 19 was the cutoff when I went. So it was like 2016 when I graduated.
Is it 19? I think 19 is still the cutoff, isn't it?
Might still be. I'm not
think
sure.
so.
They took that Heard 'Em Say teen thing seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
if your age ends in anything other than teen, you got to go in there. Shout out again to Wally B and currently Liz, aka Kali, and Curtis Davis, I believe, who currently facilitate Heard 'Em Say. If you guys are interested in that, as far as helping youth find their voice through spoken word, please look it up. Heard MEM Say. Heard 'Em Say is a youth art collective that has been doing a lot of great work including sending some students to college for a 4-year full ride scholarship at university. Yeah, you didn't know about it?
I did not know about that.
We've had
doing great things.
Yeah, we've had like I say this on the air a lot, but we've had like at least 3 students from Tampa, Hillsborough County who have gone to University of Wisconsin for a 4-year full ride scholarship for spoken word poetry.
Wow.
Oh, that really is amazing.
Especially like out of like 17 that they gave out in the country at the time. So it's like we are a large portion of it. And a lot of that is because of the work that they did with Heard 'Em Say. So now one of the good things about a great organization is it tends to create and inspire others to start doing things likewise. So if I had to ask you, who was somebody that either inspired you or even say maybe opened your eyes to the act of being active in your community and you said to yourself, okay, I think this is something that I could do? If you could think of a person, who would it be?
I think Grow House, Dennis and Curtis, they were my mentors while I was with Heard 'Em Say. And they were similar to my age group. We're not too far apart in age. So seeing them create their own organization and community and throwing events locally, and I participated in some of the events like the rap slams, I was like, wow, like this is something that's really amazing. And I saw the community turn out in engagement and people love the opportunity to like express themselves with their art. And so I was like, it's very possible to do, and people will get involved as long as, you know, you're solid and you have a foundation and you're authentic in what you do. People can pick that up. And so seeing them to this day, I'm actually collaborating with them for some of the events that we're going to be having for this program. They've been a great inspiration for me. So I'm really happy I've met them.
That's what's up. Shout out to, of course, our brothers from Grow House. Of course, Dennis Amadeus, the second Dennis, actually the third. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? The second poetry Dennis, like major, but the third who arrived. But I still love you, my brother. And also, of course, Curtis, Mr. Curtis Davis.
DJ Afro Blanco.
Afro Blanco, the new papa, el papi, senor. Listen, man, and of course, shout out to you and Zen and the new baby, man. The pictures have been looking beautiful, man, and congratulations, you guys, as you continue to grow. And to everyone else, Richard J., who used to be here as well with Grow House, Gemini Fox, Zach, who we spoke about earlier. Who else? Rob Fernandez. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I am missing somebody. Very important. I am missing Mrs. Amadeus.
Tiana Jack.
Yes.
Miss Tiana Jack.
Miss Tiana Jack. Yeah, I knew somebody was missing. But yeah, shout out to the Grow House Collective, and shout out to you, because it's one thing for somebody to try and show you something. It's another thing for you to pick it up on your own volition and try to continue to move that forward. So definitely, I'm reaching for the button right now. I'm reaching. Yes. Much applause to you, sir, for doing that, because
Thank you.
It's very, very important. Tampa Bay has a huge history of arts and artists coming out of here, but we also have a much greater and lesser told history of working in community. And as a person who's not from Tampa but who has lived here for 20 plus years, I have a very high respect for those people who really, really work in the community, because they sacrifice a lot to do it. So before we get into our next poem and stuff, because we can be talking all the time, I did want to give the people a quick jewel and a reason for them to get their tickets for July the 10th to be at the event, which is going to be where?
At the Center for Health Equity.
That's right. Write it down. If you was my age, you would have to go ahead and get your tape recorder, and stuff a little piece of paper in a cassette tape so you can record it and then put it in and then wait for us to say it again. But now it's all digital. You get this all streamed. So give it to them one more time.
It is at the Center for Health Equity, July 10th, on a Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m.
5 to 8 p.m., y'all. So please make accommodations, not just for you guys trying to be there after work, but the fact that, travel may encompass a little bit of rush hour. Please take that into account, because we want you guys, again, to beat us there, not meet us there, and continue to help this, because there are people who are going to be helped by this event, and it is so important. So real quick, before we get into our next poem, who are the artists that's going to be performing, or at least a few of them?
Yeah, no problem. So we're going to be having an up-and-coming rapper in the local area of Tampa by the name of Outlandish. Shout out to him real quick. He's actually the reason that I started doing hip-hop. He was in my class, and dope MC. We're also going to be having a spoken word artist by the name of a poet, not a Picasso. So he'll be out there. And then we'll have actually my barber who cuts my hair. I found out that he raps. He's going to be performing too. So his name is Ransom, and they will be opening up the show, and I will be finishing it off doing a song.
Okay.
And y'all, this is a free event, so you can register at EQV Brotherhood. The link is in our bio, but all free.
Do you understand that? We're not allowed to tell y'all prices when tickets are being sold. And guess what? We're going to get around that anyway. It is free. So the only thing we need you guys to do is truly invest your time. Okay, y'all? Please invest your time and schedule to please come out. Again, it's going to be July the 10th. It's going to be from 5 to 7.
5 to 8 p.m.
5 to 8 p.m. next week, Wednesday. And we're going to be going more into what's going to be going on during the event. But please sit back, relax, and start scheduling your time out. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be right back here with more Poetry Is.
Hi, I'm Poetic Epiphany. 1-800-799-7233. It happened before Christopher Maurice Brown. My mama, a delicate fusion of Robin Fenty and anime. What's love got to do with it? A very real question in between these four walls that had obviously gone mute and blind, bound by the truth and fear of abuse I never told. I never got on stage and recited this side of my truth I was afraid to spoke, or be one in this twisted wheel of life. Coming from a family full of secrets, outing one was punishable by exclusion. And to me, inclusion meant love, so no whispers about how daddy painted mommy's face. No proclamations about how I lived with Vincent Constilia, and at age 6, so ripe I was muzzled like a savage. This is a dream. A figment of your imagination turned nightmare. It never happened. Go to your room. My dad beat the hell out my mama. And a part of me was so confused, because how could a man so wise, so smart, so loving, transform. Jekyll and Hyde had nothing on my daddy. I remember one day, he took his knees and placed them on her ribs. His hands he wrapped around her neck in preparation to take her life. She didn't yell or cry. Almost like after 28 years of attachment, she was ready to die, or maybe play possum until his conscience yelled as loud as she could from the stairs, "Daddy, stop!" Not knowing who exactly I was searching for, but as he turned around, it was my daddy, my hero. So I never told. Can you imagine the chip on my shoulder when she says she stayed for the kids? Do you know what it feels like to be the reason your mother died while still alive? She stayed for the kids. Which is why I tell people I understand why she hates me just as much as she loves me. You try looking your rapist in the face every day. You try staring at the reflection of your past every afternoon. I am walking a hard drive of my father and his sins. She confessed to me that he said if OJ got away with it, he can too. So sometimes I get sick of hearing dudes say they got the juice. My first example of how words can completely bound and gag someone or completely morph lives. My mother sleeps with her door locked, a bookcase behind it and a dresser behind that. She stays up until 3 a.m. singing and praying to her something to believe in for peace. She's still scared of my father. Even though he's remarried and lives 2 hours away, far isn't far enough. He still touches her at night. He still manages to take her breath away. I moved to another state at 18. Assuming she feels better now, thinking maybe I'm a better child if I allow her the opportunity to forget, still maneuvering like a 6-year-old, still trying to save my mama. Domestic violence happened before Chris Brown. It happens after Chris Brown. Any of us could be Rihanna. So 1-800-799-7233. If you are in danger, tell. Thank you.
This is Laura with the Community Service in Lincoln. Many students rely on their schools for access to a nutritious breakfast and lunch during the academic year. The needs of children do not go away when the school year ends. Hillsborough County Public Schools is providing meals throughout the summer at multiple locations. Any student 18 years of age or younger is eligible for meals every Monday through Thursday through July 25th. This summer, there are 144 distribution sites available. Children do not have to be enrolled in a summer learning program to receive a meal. All meals must be consumed on site. To find a location near you, visit www.summerbreakspot.org or text food or comida to 304-304. Thanks.
His smile was so nice and wide, any happy emotion he failed to hide. Over the long seasons, he became my
I don't know if you guys have already had a chance to go out and get your tickets, but please, if they needed a website or ways or means of finding themselves to get a ticket ahead of time, do they need to get a ticket ahead or just show up to the event?
So it works off a registration basis. If you visit our social media, which we have a Facebook page and Instagram by the name of EQV Brotherhood. Once again, it is EQV Brotherhood. There will be a link in the bio that you can click on and register for the event.
Can you give us a copy of that link so we can share it on our social media after the show?
Yes, most definitely. I'll get that over to you.
Okay, and we'll also send you a link again for this show so you guys can share it. And this will be actually up and available from about 8:15 this PM or this evening up until the start of next week's show. So it should cover us all the way through next week, Wednesday, when you can go and get your tickets and be at the event. And the venue, 5 to 8 p.m. There's going to be a beautiful collaboration, blend, and mixing of spoken word and hip hop. And this is in order to do what and reach who?
Once again, this is for the men and boys in the community. The goal is to bring all the guys together and there be a collection of older men and younger men, because I wanted it to I think it's important for the dialogue to be between the older generation and the younger generation, because there's something to be learned from both sides. You don't want to be closed off if you are an older person and think, the young kids are just out here running wild or doing whatever. And as a younger person, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the wisdom of people who've lived life and done a lot of the things and been in a lot of the places that you're going to be going as you get older.
Okay, and I've always had this thing where I remember, okay, now I'm definitely showing my age. Okay, so I remember actual home economics, actually learning that stuff there, and just those structural things of just how to operate as an adult. Is something that we get lost in. Of course, we have so many things that we're offered, so many things that are force-fed to us via social media, via just entertainment. The fact that, we no longer are able to hold a certain level of patience for anything. We need instant gratification, this microwave society, as they say. When I was, brought up on some home cooking oven, it's going to take some time. You got to plan ahead. And you also have to know how to utilize your time, because you can't sit around for 6 hours and wait for this to be done. So while this is cooking, all right, we're going to go ahead and straighten up this, and we're going to have this. And by the time the dinner bell goes off, everything else is done, and we can all sit down and commune together. We've gotten away from that. So I don't know if I can really impress upon you in this interview how much I love what you're doing. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this link that I have that I saved. I didn't know what I was saving it for when I did. I think this is the reason why. I saved this one thing about, and it's really innocuous, you would think that, but it's 17 different ways for you to tie a tie.
Oh. Yeah.
And I remember one, for a young man, it was a rite of passage to learn how to tie a tie yourself, because clip-ons were a clown. You know what I'm saying? You just go in and just snatch it off. Look, you got a clip-on, son.
Not the same.
It's not the same. But I mean, things like that, all those little successes, right? Even from as far as tying your shoe to learning how to tie a tie, from knowing how to put your suit together and whatever, all those little successes breed confidence.
Yes.
And I believe it breeds an understanding that this world is not too much for me. There's going to be things, there's going to be hardships that we come across, but it's not insurmountable.
Yes.
So please, y'all, our young men in our community do need people who first and foremost care enough to do something. So the fact that this person is doing, we have a responsibility on our end. So we're doing it here as we can with poetry, as far as getting the information out, but we're getting it out to you guys. Please don't just take it for yourself. Share it with somebody else. If it's not something that you feel like you might want to do, please share it with somebody else. You know somebody who knows a young man, a young person in this world. And as much as we want to complain, if we are not doing anything to make a change, then we have nothing and no reason for us to say a word. So please, 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 let's not go to this event so we can say that we did something. Let's just go to this event so something can get done, and we can support the people that's doing it. Not everybody can do something, but not everybody can do everything, but everybody can do something. And again, let's get out there, y'all. I know it's going to be 5 o'clock. It's going to be a little bit of a headache when it comes to, of course, getting, there on time and everything like that. And rush hour is horrendous. Do you know where's the location at? What's the cross streets or the area closest? We did say we was going to get you guys the address. I apologize. That's on me.
It's 2333 34th Street South, correct?
Yes, South St.
South
Petersburg.
St. Petersburg. Okay. And again, definitely take that into account. Tampa, please do not say because it's simply in St. Petersburg, oh, we can't go. And I'll tell you, part of the reason why the spoken word community in Tampa Bay was able to succeed as it did in the early 2000s was because St. Pete and Clearwater came out and they supported a lot of the venues. So please, please, please do not let space, or do not let, a body of water or a bridge that we know has no tolls. It's toll free. Every bridge in New York got a toll. You got to pay just to drive around Manhattan right now. There is I'm sorry. Okay.
Take your time.
Back to Florida.
All right. But no, again, please, let's take the opportunity to support people who are doing good things in our community and for our young men. And all right, so look, who did you bring with you, man? Because you got some other guests that I wanted to shout out. I want to get the tablet queen off the tablet. Yeah, yes, you, ma'am.
So shout out to my sister and my niece. They stopped by to be supportive at the radio station with us today. So round of applause for them.
Round of applause came through. Listen, we couldn't have done this without you. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you are in the tablet right now, we could not have done this without you. You made this amazing. And she's looking at me like, this person is absolutely crazy. Why did you bring me to this radio station? Yeah, that's what D-Rod does. We bring in kids. We love the children around here. And again, that is the reason why you're doing your event, is to help start creating an environment where we can get together and we can start figuring out how we can start to mentor and guide these young men in our community. So, yeah, that's now you got me figuring out where I want to go with this.
Well, for those who are concerned about getting there on time, the first hour is dedicated to networking, getting to know the brothers at the event, and the programming officially starts at 6 p.m. So you're welcome to walk in at any time, and we're here to support.
Extra hour.
Oh, that's fire. Did you hear that? Okay, so listen, now we have a buffer. Now, that buffer does not mean you can go home first, all right? What we want you to do is we're allowing you time to get there and be able to sit down and relax, to be able to absorb all the artistry and everything that's going to be going on in that given moment. So please, we've only got about 12 minutes left for this show, and we're going to keep repeating this information. We're going to share it when we get off because it is very, very important. And again, if you guys know some young men in the community that you feel could benefit from, you know what I'm saying, getting some guidance, getting some mentoring and stuff like that, whether you bring them with you or you choose to come to find it for them, that is the village that helps to raise these kids and give them guidance. So with that being said, I think this would be poignant. I'm going to go and get into this one poem by a friend of the show, Florida poet, one of the original, I guess you could say, cast members or staff members of HBO Def Poetry, and a person I appreciate that I have his phone number. I can call him and say, this is my friend, even though he would probably deny it in this moment because he is so petty. But shout out to my brother, Asia Sampson. We're going to get into this piece, Awakening, because we need you guys to wake up and be there next Wednesday. All right, y'all? Is it South St. Pete?
Yes, South St. Pete.
South St. Pete. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good South Side, not the bad South Side. It's the good South Side, y'all.
Yes.
So we're going to get into this piece, and we'll be right back with more Poetry Is right here on 88.5 WMNF Tampa, WMNF.org.
When the snow falls in the winter, the woolly caterpillar crawls into a crevice and freezes to death. Its blood stops flowing, its lungs hardens into ice, its heart comes slowly to a halt. The heart is always the last to go. But when the snow melts in the spring, the ice thaws from its ventricles, the crystals dissolves from its lungs, and just as slowly as it died, the woolly caterpillar awakens and comes back to life. For 120 hours, we waited for my sister to wake up. My family mumbling prayers around the doctor who tells us she fell into a coma when a blood vessel hemorrhaged, and my father hasn't stopped praying since. My stepfather searching the eyes of doctors for the answers to those prayers. My siblings pushing me into the room as though I could perform a miracle. My mother making twin towers of my arms the way she crashes into them now, while I attempted to believe that my faith far exceeds science and God would awaken her somehow. Awaken, sweet sister. Tell me that my tears the size of mustard seeds will fall upon your cheek and move the mountain of swelling in your brain. Tell me that the same God who makes all things possible can still live up to his name, because right now that name belongs to your mother, who's cursing God for being too coward to make up his own mind as she stares at the medical forms granting the hospital permission to let you die. If he wants her, then take her, she says. Who am I to decide? And by her side is your fiance, whose fists are stones he's ready to throw if the doctor mentions organ donation just one more time. But your father, he sits still praying at your bedside, wrapping rosaries around your hands and tucking prayer cards behind your neck. God will resurrect my daughter, he says. Please, God, tell me she'll resurrect. How do I respond? How do I agree when the tubes of your IV intertwines around my throat, strangles my voice every time I plead, awaken, sweet sister? Make this poem easier to write. Tonight, pull out the respirator in your throat and speak the words that will end this poem brighter than how it begun. Remove the tubes and we'll blow kisses into your veins that you may know where the true source of your life comes from, how it comes from your heart, how in this hurricane world you broke it to tiny pieces, dropped them like care packages on our laps. You always had enough of it to give, which is why there are 200 people in the waiting room now, ready to give it back in case you need it to live. But on the 7th day, doctor gave us the results of the last test my sister will ever take, and I swear I'm not built for earthquakes like that. My knees buckling like a bridge, my arms shaking too much to catch another one of my mother's crash landings. None of us was left standing. We were all falling through the cracks, falling until we hit the floor of her room that night. This is what rock bottom must look like. The nurse disconnecting her machines, our hands stretching to touch a part of her as we wailed, our tears dropping as fast as her heartbeat, our sanity vanishing with her breath. Faster it faded, my stepfather stroking her face. Faster it faded, my father presses her hand to his cheek. Faster it faded, we're still waiting on a miracle. Faster it faded, my face planted to my mother's belly. Mommy, this hurts. Faster it faded, and then it was finished. The monitors dropped to 0, and as her breath emptied and her heartbeat slowed, her fiancé removes the ring from her finger, ties it to his necklace, and says, how fitting. It was her heart that was the last to go. It was silent after that. Silent as my mother reaches over to close her daughter's eyes. My stepfather releases a long-awaited sigh. My sibling straightens the creases in her blanket while my father unravels the rosary from her hands, takes the prayer cards from behind her neck and slips them into his pocket, places a kiss on her forehead, her chest, and both her shoulders. Put in a good word to God for us, he says. And that's when I knew that all along we had failed to see the light at the end of this tunnel she was going through. Because while we were praying for her awakening, the awakening was really meant for us, to remind us that life is a coma we can still choose to wake up from. The faith means not having to wait for the sun to come, because sometimes the sun doesn't come, but we can still rise on our own. Her last breath has already blown life into the candles of our bones, with nothing more than a wish that we may live more fully. The woolly caterpillar freezes to death in a winter and comes back to life in the spring. For 14 years, it goes through the same cycle of awakening, waiting until the final year when its work is complete, then spins itself into a cocoon to be reborn a moth and fly away for good. So sleep now, sweet sister. You've surrendered your life for too many winters. We'll take it from here. Sleep now, and wherever you wake, may you be reborn with wings on your back. Fly into the sun, knowing that when our own winter ends, spring will come and we'll see each other again. But until then, yeah, put in a good word to God for us.
It's amazing when somebody reminds you about something that you personally kind of like, partially like just a little bit forgot. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I did do that stuff. And they're like, yeah, you did it. Oh, hold on. Let me set the ambiance. Let us set the mood. If I can, please. On 3, 2, 1. There we go. We're chill. All right, y'all. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this episode of Poetry Is. Like I said, one of our big things is being in the community and promoting things that's going on here in the community. So we want to give a shout out, round of applause to our guests that came out today. I would love... Don't worry, nobody can see you. Come on. right, so here's the thing about it, right? You go to school, right? Okay, so like there's these things in life where like you have the opportunity that you can like kind of like shine and stunt and just actually be proud of an opportunity that a lot of people don't get. I'm pretty sure probably about like 90 to 99% of the kids in your school have never been on the radio. You don't know? Wait, hold on. Say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
I really honestly don't know.
Well, guess what? Right now, you're on the radio. You are going live, not just here in Tampa, but worldwide. So say hi.
Hello.
Get close. It's right there.
Hi.
There we go. Now we hear
there
you.
we go.
Hey,
Now we can hear
Gwen.
you.
How you doing?
Shout out. Okay, so being a guest, I'd like to say, like, could you please introduce yourself to our listening audience so they know who it is we're speaking? You can just give your first name.
Go up to the mic.
Gwendolyn.
Hey, Gwendolyn, how you doing? We want to say thank you for coming out here. What school is it that you go to, Gwendolyn?
Lone Star Elementary.
Take it to the mic.
Lone Star Elementary.
Lone Star Elementary. Now, Lone Star Elementary now has a star because you have shined. You have risen up. Okay? Wow. You know what I'm saying? You are the rising star at Lone Star Elementary because you're here. So we want to give a shout out to Lone Star Elementary, to all of the staff and facility, all of the teachers out there that helped create loving, strong-minded students like this that we've seen, because she's been in the cut on her tablet in her own zone the whole episode and was like, I'm not getting up on the mic. I had to figure out how to get her here. But now you have been on the radio. And guess what? You also have gone worldwide because we broadcast like over the internet too. So you're like world known.
Famous.
I'm gonna need your
Gwendolyn.
autograph, Gwen.
Gwen, we're gonna have to get this Gwendolyn. All right, y'all. So we're gonna have the powerful support Gwen movement going on. That's gonna be a subsidiary of everything else that be going on. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting your uncle, correct?
Yes.
That's your uncle? Yeah. You're gonna be proud of your uncle? You see he's doing some great things out here.
Yep.
All right, Gwen, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you standing up because you're sitting here like you're rocking, but I think you're ready to grab this mic and be like, this is my show. I'm waiting for it. If you're ever welcome to, we'll extend an opening to you, Mom, if you guys ever want to come back. I think we might have it within on the inside, like you know what I'm saying, a budding artist ready to come out their shell and do some amazing things. And like see all of this stuff. That's you were just doing that on your tablet. You can work all of this stuff. Like you got this. I have faith.
She's acting shy, but she wants to be a YouTuber. She writes songs, and she's only 10 years old.
What you mean you don't write songs? The way you said it, I believe that you do write songs. Hold on, let me hear the argument because we want to give you equal say.
Defend yourself.
I don't write songs.
Get to the mic. Go ahead.
I don't write songs.
You don't write songs? Okay. But you are a creative, you're an artist, are you not? Do you like making stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Forgets who she is.
We know what I don't know means. We know what that I don't know means. But yeah, man, thank you so much for coming out. Mom, thank you for coming out as well. Why don't you get to the mic and speak and say something?
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mom. My name is Alkema, and here showing some love for my brother. Just watching him as he's starting this program. It's just amazing to be able to support him. And I'm going to go back to Jax and spread the word and let them know about his new single. And
you're a writer.
Duval. Oh, and a writer. All right, we got 30 seconds. I want to hear about this.
I write short stories, personal essays, and then I'm going to eventually tackle my first novel.
Let's go.
Hopefully, by the end of the year, maybe next year, we'll see. But yeah, I got to just get back into it, get back on the grind.
All right, man. Last 10 seconds is yours, man. Say shout outs to anybody you want to.
Thank y'all for inviting me out here. And once again, July 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. Thank you.
All right, what's the spot again?
Center for Health Action.